Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crazy Facts, where we explore the most amazing and unbelievable facts about history, science, and culture. Today, we're going to focus on one of the most famous and fascinating women of all time, Queen Cleopatra of Egypt. You may think you know everything about her, but there are some surprising and shocking facts that you may not have heard before. Let's dive in. 1. Cleopatra was not Egyptian. That's right. The most famous Egyptian queen was actually of Greek origin. She was a descendant of Ptolemy I, one of Alexander the Great's generals, who founded a dynasty of Greek-speaking rulers in Egypt after Alexander's death. Cleopatra was the first member of her family to learn the Egyptian language and adopt many of their customs, but she was still ethnically Greek. 2. Cleopatra was not the only Cleopatra. Her full name was Cleopatra VII Theophilopator, which means the father-loving goddess in Greek. She was also not the only famous Cleopatra in history. There was another Cleopatra, who was a renowned mathematician, astronomer, and philosopher in the 4th century CE. 3. Cleopatra was a master of seduction. Cleopatra is famous for her love affairs with two of the most powerful men in the ancient world, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. She used her charm, intelligence, and beauty to win their hearts and influence their decisions. She also knew how to make an entrance. When she first met Caesar, she smuggled herself into his palace wrapped in a carpet. When she met Antony, she sailed up the Nile in a lavish barge, dressed as the goddess Aphrodite. 4. Cleopatra was a mother of 4. Cleopatra had a son with Caesar, named Caesarion, who she claimed was the rightful heir of Rome. She also had 3 children with Antony, 2 sons, Alexander Helios and Ptolemy Philadelphus, and a daughter, Cleopatra Selene. She hoped to create a dynasty that would rule over the East and the West, but her plans were foiled by Caesar's heir, Octavian, who defeated Antony and Cleopatra in the final war of the Roman Republic. 5. Cleopatra was a prolific writer. Cleopatra was not only a queen, but also a scholar and an author. She wrote several books on various subjects, such as cosmetics, pharmacology, weights and measures, and even hairdressing. Unfortunately, none of her works have survived, but they are mentioned by other ancient writers, such as Pliny the Elder and Galen Squared. 6. Cleopatra was a master of disguise. Cleopatra was not afraid to take risks and go undercover for her own purposes. She once disguised herself as a servant girl and snuck into the enemy camp to meet with Antony, who was besieged by his rival, Octavian. She also dressed up as a man and visited the Temple of Jerusalem with Herod the Great, who was her ally and admirer. 7. Cleopatra was a patron of the arts and sciences. Cleopatra was a lover of learning and culture, and she supported many artists and scholars in her court. She restored the Library of Alexandria, which was the largest and most famous library in the ancient world, and she invited many eminent thinkers and writers to study there, such as the geographer Strabo, the historian Dio Cassius, and the poet Horace. 8. Cleopatra was a skilled naval commander. Cleopatra was not only a politician and a diplomat, but also a warrior and a strategist. She personally led her fleet in several naval battles, such as the Battle of Actium, where she faced Octavian's forces. Although she lost the battle, she managed to escape with Antony and some of her ships, showing her courage and cunning. 9. Cleopatra was a religious leader. Cleopatra was not only the ruler of Egypt, but also the high priestess of the Egyptian religion. She was worshipped as the reincarnation of the goddess Isis, the mother of all gods and the protector of the kings. She also adopted the symbols and rituals of other religions, such as the Persian cult of Mithras, the Egyptian cult of Serapis, and the Roman cult of Venus, to appeal to her diverse subjects and allies. 10. Cleopatra died by a snake bite. After Antony committed suicide, believing that Cleopatra had betrayed him, Cleopatra was captured by Octavian, who planned to parade her in his triumph in Rome. Rather than face this humiliation, Cleopatra chose to end her life by her own hand. According to the most popular version of the story, she smuggled a venomous snake, an asp, into her chamber and let it bite her on the arm or the breast. She died in the arms of her loyal servants, leaving behind a legacy of glory and mystery. That's it for today's episode of Crazy Facts. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about the legendary Queen Cleopatra. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing facts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.